Today I'm bringing you a little bit of a personal story about my slice of paradise in Merion Park and how life has changed since Hurricane Sandy hit in 2012. So imagine this, I just bought my dream home right on the water in Merion Park. It was a dream come true having a home on the bay, but literally we closed 2 weeks before Hurricane Sandy hit. We were smack in the middle of a renovation, so we had moved all the furniture to the garage for safekeeping because we were redoing the floors. But then came the storm, and then 3.5 feet of water filled our garage, and well, let's just say that garage smelled like clams for weeks afterwards. When Sandy made landfall, it wasn't just another storm. It was a wake-up call for all of us who call the Bay Area home. And so Merion Park was hit pretty hard with homes flooded and the streets turned into rivers. We're like riding our kayaks on down the street. It became painfully clear that something needed to change to protect our neighborhood from the rising water levels. So here's what makes Merion Park special, but also vulnerable. We are particularly surrounded by the bay and high tides and nor'easterns, and those full moons all come together to create what we call the perfect storm conditions for flooding. So when we're always watching the Weather Channel and they say those three things, we're like, uh-oh. After the storm, Ocean City knew it was time to act, and they launched a massive $10 million remediation project aiming to curb the flooding issue in Merion Park, which was good. The project is all about tackling the water that creeps up when the tides and the storms align, especially those full moon cycles with the extra high tides. For those of us living here, the project was truly a game changer. We really needed it, and I am so glad it's done. It's not just about handling the water in the moment. It's about installing proper drainages and new pumps to keep all of our streets dry and our homes safe. Trust me, as a resident, this is a huge relief. So of course, Mother Nature has her ways, and sometimes the bay just doesn't want to drain. The biggest challenge is these perfect storms like I mentioned before, with the tides and the nor'easter and the full moons. When they all join together, it's inevitable. Let me tell you, it's working. The new drainage system and the pumps have been installed, and they're already helping to keep the water moving instead of just sitting stagnant. We may not be in the clear yet, but every new piece of this project is a step toward protecting Merion Park for a long run. It's not just about avoiding Sandy, it's about making sure the next nor'easter doesn't throw our lives in chaos. It's about a peace of mind and knowing we're prepared. So just to kind of give you an idea, when we do have these three storms, or maybe we don't have the full moon, we might have a nor'easter and a high tide. If the water does come in, it's inevitably going to come in. We are surrounded by water around us, but what you want is you want that water to recede out in a sufficient amount of time. And before the pumps were put in, we would be stranded in our homes for at least about 6 hours before we could go anywhere. I mean, in some cases, it was longer than that. Now it recedes, within an hour or two, it will recede right out. And that's the purpose of the pumps, is not to keep it lingering around, and we can actually function on the island.
I'm gonna just wait here for a little bit. Let time pass.
Wow, I get down here to the shore only to find out that the street's still not done yet. So if you live in Merion Park and you're curious how the construction's going, let me just say it's going beautifully. The concrete sidewalks look great. The curb looks great. It's just that you're gonna need to be a little inconvenienced for another weekend. I do need to ask you one favor. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button, because more is to come. And tell me what you wanna know. I will go and do a video. If you wanna know about the boardwalk, you wanna know about Manco's, if you want to know about Uncle Bill's, I'd be happy to do a video on that and share my love for the island.